All right, it says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. I figure we'll have a bit of a lighter stream today because it's Saturday. There's the Masters going on. We have UFC, and I didn't even tell many people when I was going live, so hopefully some people see it. Not expecting a full house, but for those of you that are here, looking forward to answering any questions you have. Breaking down the slate should be a good time. I'm looking forward to this race. It should be fun. You guys know I love Martinsville, love short tracks, just love short flat tracks in general, like Richmond last weekend. Should be a fun one once again. Loud and clear. All right, let's see who's all here so far. Let's see. What's up, Mike? What's up, Gabe? Or Jeb, I know my Discord. What's up, Natalie? Hi, everyone. Need to win badly. Scared an Elliott today. A lot to lose if he doesn't have the perfect day. A lot is going to have to go wrong for Chase Elliott to not be a smash play today. He's got just about everything going for him. He's got the best pit stall. His crew's been fast this year. He's got the fastest car. He's on the pole. He's good at Martinsville. I mean, there is no data point that would suggest that he's not a good play today. But, I mean, obviously things going to happen. But he is by far my highest owned driver on both sites today. DraftKings and FanDuel. Let some people roll in, though. What's up, Nate? 7 spots in the DraftKings contest. Yeah, if you want to join the DraftKings contest, just make sure you... I think someone could probably drop the link here. It's also on my Twitter, at Pennell16, one of my most recent tweets. Few spots left. It is a league now, so when you do join, you get the auto invite for future races, and it makes it a lot easier on pretty much everyone's part, so I don't have to manually invite everybody. What's up, Luis? What's up, Andre? What's up, my man Spread? Got my man Do here. Nice to have him back. Always appreciate his him helping out the chat quite a bit. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Mike says, I know he loves Elliott and Blaney today. Yeah, Chase Elliott. I mean, I can keep saying it, but he's pretty much the smash play of the decade today. Ryan Blaney, I think he's an excellent tournament play. I know he wasn't as fast in practice early on, but as the longer the run got, he was kind of right up there with Chase Elliott and the other Hendrick Cars as far as having a good long run car. So I'm definitely liking Blaney today. Was a P3 in the 25 lap, P2 in the 30 lap. He's great at short flat tracks. Dominated at Phoenix, dominated at Richmond. Have a hard time seeing him not being fast again. The only problem is that the price did rise quite a bit, so we're no longer getting Ryan Blaney as a very easy fit in as your second or third dominator. You're paying nearly $11,000 for him over on DraftKings and $13,000 over on FanDuel, so it's not quite as easy to fit him in. He's kind of got to be a focal point of your lineup, but there's enough value to make that work today. Hunter says, good afternoon, ready for some night racing? Me too. Absolutely love Martinsville. And I love night races, so pretty much checking all the boxes for me tonight. And then next weekend, we have the Bristol Dirt Race on Sunday night, which will be pretty exciting as well. I do not know the full-on schedule for the Bristol Dirt Race. I gotta see when practice and qualifying is. I know last year we did the heat races. I wonder if I can find that. I'm hoping they don't do heat races the same day because I hate having same day qualifying. It makes everything extremely difficult on my end. Anyway. Spread says don't forget to leave a like on your way in. Yeah, definitely helps me out. Appreciate it. Anybody that's here, make sure you leave a like. Let's see. Mike says, Natalie, my luck has always been play much of a racer as you feel comfortable with. If your gut says to back off a little bit on driver, do it as it is usually the right choice. Lovely girlfriend Julina's here to see Mr. Handsome, then heading to see puppies, excited for a night race. I know you're very excited for the puppies, and yeah, very excited for the night race as well. Should be a good time. Lots of sports going on today. We also have baseball, which I got to do the baseball street after we do this, and I got to get ready for the Osmo Live Before Lock show as well. Got my man Andy in here. What's up, Dom? What's up, Mike? NASCAR has been one of the few sports I've profited in every year so far. Yeah, and most sports have definitely lost their edge quite a bit. In DFS, I mean, NASCAR is certainly getting sharper, but I still feel like the edge in NASCAR is probably one of the best of all sports so far because, you know, it's not just as, like most sports, you can just go into an optimizer, press optimize and just run the optimal and not be too bad most nights, especially in NBA. And even NFL won't be too bad either, but in NASCAR, I mean, you really got to play around with your settings and kind of have to know how to approach each track because it's so different, which is why I love NASCAR DFS. There's definitely a huge strategy element to it. Spread says Chris's hair is looking fresh. I did get a haircut yesterday. I needed it. It was getting pretty long. What's up, Mari? D-Money says top GPP plays today. As far as dominators go, I love Blaney. It's not like Blaney's going to be super low end or anything, but you have Truex, Elliott, Cal Larson all up top, and Denny Hamlin with his PD upside is going to pick up ownership. So just getting to Ryan Blaney, a guy that I think is going to have a good long run car. And obviously great at these types of tracks and very fast at Martinsville over the course of his career. $10,900. Hoping some people get away from him, but I'm in love with Ryan Blaney up top. And also really like Kyle Busch at $10,000. All the JGR cars were pretty slow in practice for the most part, but put up a P3 in the 10 lap, then P2 and P2 in the 15 and 20 lap, and then P7 in the 25. So it looks like he's going to have a decent car, and he's only $10,000, and I love that price point. Mike says, as long as he doesn't wreck or an engine fail, it's really the only thing that could stop Chase Elliott today. I mean, everything points to him having the most dominant car. I would be surprised if he doesn't lead around 100 some laps in this race, maybe even more. I mean, he's got everything going his way. It's just really a matter of bad luck if he just happens to not be in the optimal lineup today. And he's going to be very high owned. He's going to be owned in around half the lineups today in the big contest. So you kind of got to figure out what you want to do. You want to, I mean, if you want to go double the field on Chase Elliott today, you almost have to lock him in, which is kind of scary, but this is as good of a spot as ever, really, for a dominator. Don says he needs the link. It'll be somewhere around here. Hopefully someone can send it in, or you can check out the Twitter. I can't drop the actual link in here, but it should be on my Twitter unless someone else can invite you. But I think there's only a couple of spots left. Robert says, who's your top 3 favorite plays besides Elliott? Looking at my exposures right now, I am highest on Chase Elliott, obviously, and then Ty Dillon, just because I got to fit in Doms, and he's by far the best cheap play today. And then William Byron and Ryan Blaney are right up there as well. I'm loving Willie B today. Andrew says 2 must drivers on FanDuel for either cash or tournaments. So I think you're going to need Chase Elliott, whether you're playing cash or tournaments over on FanDuel, and I also like William Byron quite a bit too. Those are the 2 I have the most exposure to. And for Byron, it's basically just a price thing for me because he's only $10,500 over there, which compared to Busch, Hamlin, Blaney, Elliott, and Truex all being above $12K, the price isn't too bad. Lamar says, new to NASCAR, what's the best GPP strategy? So it changes each and every single week. It just depends on the track. So you got to completely just redo it every single week. Although at a short flat track, you're going to want dominators. So if you're playing over on DraftKings, you're going to want at least 2 guys that have the potential to lead a lot of laps, get fast laps, which those kind of guys would be Chase Elliott, Blaney, Larson, Busch. Yeah, those kind of guys that are up top that can potentially lead laps early on and accumulate fast laps. Because we have 400 laps, which means close to 300 dominator points, so making sure you get those guys in your lineup is going to be very, very important. Place differential won't be as important this week. Not to say you can't play guys like Chastain, Hamlin, Truex. I still have exposure to them, but the dominators are definitely the big high ceiling plays as far as tournaments go. Mike says, Blaney, Chase, and Kyle Busch are my base, and I work around them. Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you. As far as my dominator exposure, those are 3 of my 4 highest owned. I also have a lot of Byron as well. Brian says, Eric Jones is sandbagging. Think he will get a top 10 finish. I can't project him for a top 10 finish. Currently right now in the projections, I have him for like around a P18, which for where he's starting in 24th, that's fine. It's not like an amazing day. It's around 30, like around 32 some DraftKings points, which is 4.5x. It's not bad. And for where he's priced, he's actually one of the better plays in his pricing tier in the 7K range. So I don't mind Eric Jones, but I don't think he'll get a top 10. Joe says, hey Chris, out in sunny LA. Glad you're here, Joe. Hopefully you're enjoying sunny LA. Looking forward to the race today. Go Chase and Kyle, but I'm right there with you. Go both of those guys, and hopefully you enjoy the sun. Better Luck DFS says favorite cash game value plays. There is 2 clear-cut cheap cash value plays today. It's going to be Harrison Burton and Ty Dillon. Someone was saying just to call it Dilbert, just to get the Dillon and Burton combo in there. So those are the 2 that pretty much everyone is going to go with today, and I would highly recommend playing them in cash games. Both have practice speeds well above where they're not like insanely above where they're starting, but like 5 to 10 spots is certainly possible for them to gain. And they're both in the 5K range, which is incredibly too cheap. Dustin says top 2 tourney plays. So as far as the Dominators go, Blaney, Kyle Busch, absolutely love them. If you're not talking about Dominators, I mean, Alex Bowman's kind of like a hybrid Dominator, but I'm pretty high on him. I thought he was pretty fast in practice, and there's actually a decent chance that he could make my cash game lineup. But as far as the tournament Dominators go, those are 2 of my favorites. Chris says, how are you feeling about Dinger in cash? I think he can get the laps back with cautions, plus he can stay out because he's not racing for points. For him to get back in the lead lap, it's going to be a tough task because he's going to lose multiple laps to start the race, and this isn't like a large track where, like Auto Club, where he's not going to lose the lap or anything. And there's like the way Martinsville works out, we're going to have so many guys laps down. Like Dinger's not going to be the only guy a lap down for the entire stage. If we run green, Chase Elliott is going, assuming Chase Elliott stays out front, he is going to lap a lot of cars in that first stage. I really don't think Dinger's just going to get it back really quick. I know there was a ton of cautions last night in Xfinity, but there's a big difference between Xfinity and Cup Series. I think people need to realize that. So I'm not high on Dinger. I am very underweight. I've seen some places have ownership projections that are extremely high, above 30%. I don't think he's going to be that high personally. I'm pretty under on that. And as far as my exposures go, I am way underweight on Allmendinger. I just don't think he's going to be a relevant enough play starting a couple laps down because there's no guarantee. I mean, say he gets back in the lead lap, it doesn't mean he's just going to shoot right up to P15. I mean, Justin Haley was very lucky last week getting that quick yellow where he got back in the lead lap, but even then he still wasn't optimal. And it's not like Dinger's going to come out here and just rip to a top 15 finish. So, I mean, as far as cash games go, no, I'm not playing Dinger in cash. Seems very risky for me, in my opinion. Mike says, Lamar, tell you want at least 2 drivers you feel can lead a big part of the race. That is exactly correct. Albert says, seems like stars and scrubs for cash today. Yeah, I think it's like our first stars and scrubsy kind of week in cash. I mean, last week we played Ty Dillon. Apparently everyone had the same lineup last weekend. It was Truex, Larson, Blaney, Ty Dillon, Bowman. I forget the other guy. Who was the other cash guy last week? I can't remember, but not Bell. Bell was the tournament guy. I don't remember, but either way, everyone had the same lineup. Feels like there's a popular lineup today. I'm not sure how many people are gonna land on it, but yeah, your cash lineup was Elliott, Larson, Byron, Suarez. Yeah, that works. I think that's fine. You have 3 guys that need a large chunk of laps. That's like my second favorite cash lineup right now. I was between that and another one. I'm landing on the other one right now, but we'll see what happens. Josh says, DK Cash, Byron, Elliott, Ty Dillon, Larson, Suarez, and Stenhouse, or Elliott, Austin Dillon. I'm not going to play Austin Dillon in cash today, so I will go with the first one there. Eric says, Chris the GOAT. You're the GOAT, Eric. Appreciate it. And thank you for all stopping by. I'm not sure how many people we have in here. I'm sure it's going to be a later stream today, but there's just so many sports going on, but I do appreciate everyone stopping by on your Saturday afternoon. And I'm looking forward to having an off day tomorrow. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to know what to do. I mean, I have to do baseball in the morning, but that's not too big of a deal. Then should have the rest of the day to do whatever the heck we want. Maybe go to the beach, go to Naples or something. That'll be fun. But it's going to be weird not having any NASCAR on Sunday. Chris says, cash head-to-head, Briscoe and Suarez or Bubba and Reddick. Others are Elliott, Byron, Chastain, and Ty Dillon. So I have the 4 you mentioned down below. Briscoe is not really a cash play for me. I love the speed Bubba showed in practice, so I'll go with the Bubba and Reddick route there. Nate says, let me hear some of these optimizer tricks. What do you mean? There's several you can do. I mean, you have to set up group settings, play with the randomness, and for now, like, a lot of people, like at a track like this, you're going to want at least 2 dominators per lineup. Now, most projections will probably plug in at least 2 dominators, but making sure you set up groups throughout your lineup, especially super speedways, the strategy is just endless in what you can do. And as long as you know how to use an optimizer for NASCAR, I mean, you can get a pretty big edge on the field. Because I know in NBA, whenever I play NBA, I just upload my projections. It'll be 5 minutes to lock. Whatever's the top lineup, I'll just plug it in because, I mean, that's just what everyone does. I mean, spending the whole day strategizing about NBA is pretty much just a waste of time because it's all about just the projections at the end of the day for NBA. Chris says, if Dinger is still a cash play, I like Elliott, Truex, Chastain, Bubba, Dinger, and Ty Dillon. Yeah, I mean, the rest of the lineup I like. I'm just not playing. I'm not playing Dinger in cash today. I just don't trust it. And if he's gonna be high owned, I welcome that because I think there's definitely good leverage to have to not be on Dinger. Bowdy says, thoughts on Bowman cash GPP? Yeah, he's like a hybrid play for me. I currently have him in my cash lineup. He was fast in practice. P4 in the 10, P5 in the 15. I mean, all the Hendrick cars are fast, so it's hard to imagine Bowman's not going to be a top 10 contender today. And you can actually fit 3 Hendrick cars in cash, and he's starting P16, so there's some place differential upside there. So yeah, I can get behind Bowman in both. Someone spreads out the dono, appreciate it. Thoughts on Bubba? That's a good question for the super chat. I like Bubba Wallace quite a bit. I mean, I never usually like playing Bubba, but I mean, you can't really look past what he did in practice. And this actually is a pretty decent track for Bubba. It was P2 in the 5, P6 in the 10, P6 also in the 15, P5 in the 20, and P11 in the 25, which I think only 11 cars ran the 25 laps, so he was last in that category. But if he's going to get us top 15 speed, he's a decent pivot off of guys like Harrison Burton, Ty Dillon down low. I know it's not exactly in the same price range, but let's just say, for example, AJ Allmendinger was picking up more steam because he starts 15 spots further back. I'd much rather be on Bubba because I think he's got a strong chance to stay in the lead lap for the majority of the race. Margie says, good question, can we just stack Hendrick cars? Yeah, for sure. I have a lot of Hendrick today. They're my highest owned drivers on FanDuel, besides Blaney, and the same can be said for DK. Luis says, competition caution. I have not seen a competition caution yet. I don't think there's going to be one. I don't think there's a reason for there to be one. If you guys see one, please let me know. I'm going to pull up Bob's Twitter. But last I saw, I didn't see anything. I also haven't seen any news about drivers going to the back. But Bob just tweeted 11 minutes ago, his pick to win today is William Byron and then Elliott P2. I can get behind that. If Bob is correct today, I would be very happy, as those are my 2 favorite drivers. Just still not seeing anything about anyone going to the back. Oh, actually, he did tweet about a competition caution here. He was answering Scott's question about the competition caution. He said, with an 80-lap opening stage, not sure there would be a need for a competition caution, but they did clean the track of a lot of fluid yesterday, so to be determined. So, I mean, if there is a competition caution, I mean, it doesn't really change anything for me. Yeah, I could always shuffle Chase Elliott, but I just don't think it's going to be the case today. So either way, competition caution or not, it doesn't change anything. Let's Profit says, you don't think Dinger can get back in the lead lap with the potential cautions? I mean, it's possible, but I'm not really going to bank on a ton of cautions. Like, yeah, I mean, I know it's Martinsville, there's bumping and banging, someone can spin out for sure. It's just, unless he doesn't get quick yellows, I have my concerns about AJ Allmendinger. Like, Justin Haley got very lucky last week, and even then, Richmond's bigger than Martinsville, and he's going to lose multiple laps here. So he's going to be in a tough spot at the beginning, and then Chase Elliott, I say Chase Elliott, it could be anybody, but the leader is going to put guys' laps down. So it's not like Dinger's going to be the only guy riding around not in the lead lap. So I do have plenty of concerns on Allmendinger, especially if he's going to be high owned. If he was going to be low owned, yeah, it makes it somewhat more appealing, but a chalky Dinger a couple laps down to start the race doesn't feel great. I would much rather play, like, I have way more ownership on Bubba Wallace. I'd much rather play Dino Suarez. Like, why would we flock to Allmendinger when we can just play Suarez starting in P30, who had top 20 practice speeds? Like, I don't know. Just don't really love the risk with Dinger today. Andre says, cash core of Chase and Bowman, Byron, Ty Dillon, a good start. Yeah, I have all 4 of those drivers on my cash lineup right now, so I am perfectly fine with that. Aaron says, I feel like this might be a good week to fade Chastain. He didn't look good in practice or qualifying. I can kind of agree with you. I'm not fading Chastain, like fading. I might be a little bit underweight. I am playing him in cash games. I mean, he was P13 the 10th lap. I don't think he's going to be junk. And he was fast last week before he just kind of derailed at the end. But he's a cash play for me. But if you want to go underweight in tournaments, I get it. I mean, I'd rather be overweight on Bowman and Harvick than I would be overweight on Chastain, if that answers your question on that. Spread says, join DK YouTube contest, only 4 spots left. I'm wondering if that filled by now. Let's see. Yeah, the contest is full. I wonder if we can make that 200. I'll have to ask Bull. He manages it for me, but appreciate you guys filling it once again. It's Saturday, so I mean, last year I doubt we could have filled 100 people on a Saturday afternoon. So filling 150 at 3 p.m. is awesome, so appreciate that. Joe says, hey Chris, your contest is posted on Discord. Few spots left. Thank you, Joe. I guess I'm behind the chat because we're filled now, but do appreciate that. Yes says, just was able to jump on, finally out of work. Awesome, glad you're out of work. Hopefully enjoy the rest of the day. Let's get this. See you in Discord. Yep, see you there. See you there. Family Man says, afternoon, Chris. Which one do you prefer? Afternoon, Family Man. Chastain is your 3rd guy after you pick your dominators or a 3rd mini dominator. Thanks, bud. Secure the bag tonight. Who? Well, I guess that would depend. So, for me personally, so let's just say, for example, we went Chase Elliott, we went Ryan Blaney. So we got, let's go William Byron. So we went Chase Elliott, William Byron. So I guess as your 3rd guy, yeah, you could, I mean, you can actually fit in another 9K driver and Ross Chastain. It won't restrict you too much there, but just for your example, we go Byron, we go Elliott. There's more upside ceiling, in my opinion, with Bowman, because I think he's got at least a shot to get up front. Chastain does not. Is Chastain the safer play? Probably, but I do like the practice speeds we saw more with Bowman. So if it's a tournament, I'd be kind of more inclined to go like a Bowman route or maybe a Harvick route for those potential dominator points over a Chastain. Robert says, Elliott, Blaney, Kyle Busch, Suarez, Burton, Ty Dillon. Solid lineup. I'm not sure if it's cash or tournaments, but I would be surprised if I didn't have that lineup somewhere around my 150 build. I'm very high on Kyle, very high on Elliott, very high on Blaney. I'm decently high on Suarez and kind of to the moon on Burton and Ty Dillon just to fit in my DOMs. Mo Green says, is Chase a cash play? Yes, he is indeed a cash play. Also a tournament play. I mean, he's the best play on the slate. I play GBP, looking more at Kyle Busch, Bowman, and Byron. I like all those 3 drivers too. So if you're going to pivot off of Chase to get to them, be more than welcome to, but you can certainly pair them all together. Kyle Busch will carry a bit of ownership. I think he's going to be around 25-30% owned today. Bowen probably in the low 20s, and I think Byron could approach 30 today because I'm sure he's going to get some steam. Mike says, I am a full fade on Denny and Truex, and it scares me a lot, but I feel at this moment it's my best move. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I am not full fade on them, but compared to the field, I probably have less than half the ownership on them. So, like, I think Truex might get close to 30% owned. He's going to be in the 20s for sure. Right now, I have less than 10% on Truex, which is terrifying, but when you're so deep into Chase Elliott, it's like I can't get to that much Truex because I have a bunch of the 10K and 9K drivers, so I just have to be lower on somebody. And these guys that offer PD like Truex and Hamlin didn't really show me too much in practice. I think Truex can be a top 10 car, but if Truex doesn't dominate today, he's not going to be worth it. Like, yeah, maybe he'll get you 60 points, picking up some fast laps here and there and finishing in the top 10, but what's 60 points to a guy like Chase Elliott who could easily score over 100 today, or a William Byron that could score over 80, 90 points if he happens to get up front. So that's kind of the viewpoint you have to go with. Like, if Truex was a lot cheaper, yeah, but 11.5 is just really hard to get to. I do have a lot more of him on FanDuel compared to DraftKings because the dominator points being less important. Where are we at? I think No, I think I answered that. I skipped a couple things. Hold on. Stan says, any interest in Bowman? Hopefully I answered that, but yeah, I like Bowman a lot today. Great tournament play. Fringe cash play, but as of right now, he is in my cash lineup. Dustin says, can you play Byron, Blaney, and Chase and feel okay in a GPP? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I feel okay with that in a cash game, really. So I definitely feel good with that in a GPP, but I would try to find some lesser owned drivers down low just to try to offset that. Dustin says, good spot for Hendrick. Hendrick's a guy I'm having a tough time. I matched the field with him on ownership. I think he comes in around 10% owned. Starting in P13, it's not like he's been great at the short flats this year. We're talking about a fringe top 20 guy. Maybe 20th at Richmond last week, 24th at Phoenix, but seems like he has a fast car. He was top 10 across the board in all the practice speeds. Was even P6 in the 30 lap, which was better than Alex Bowman. I don't think he's going to run Bowman today, but at $7,300, I don't think he's a terrible play, but he's just kind of there. Like he could be that forgotten guy that no one plays, because why would you want to play Hendrick? But because he just how he's performed this year outside of Daytona. But I can get behind a little bit. Chris says, are you leaning stars and scrubs today, or just two doms? I'm pretty stars and scrubsy. Like Ty Dillon's in about half my lineups today, so it's like 70 some lineups, and I also have a ton of Harrison Burton, and if you had to throw them together, I would say they're probably like in 30% of my lineups total, like combined. FE says, stuck at work but still made it in CP. Oh, awesome, Rick. I was wondering where you were in the chat today. Sucks you had to work on the weekend, but hopefully you'll be back in time for the race today. Time Talk says, is 29% randomness okay? Yeah, that's fine. I think today is a good week to go 20, 30%. Or today's a good day to go around 20, 30% randomness. If it's a super speedway, I'll bump it up to like 50. So then it can be set for road courses just because the Dominator points don't really add up too much. So I like to get more randomness there. But yeah, 29% is fine today. Andrew says, if playing Elliott and Byron on FanDuel, would you play another high-priced driver or balance the rest of your lineup? So let me pull up some of my FanDuel builds. Okay. Thought I had them on the screen ready for me, but I don't. I'm pretty sure I'm kind of top-heavy on FanDuel. It's not as easy as it was last week putting together lineups over there. Like my worst driver on FanDuel last week, I want to say was Kevin, like worst as in the pricing. It was Kevin Harvick, which you can't do that this week really without really like getting outside of the Chase Elliott's of the world. So I wonder if my crunches saved. And they did. I was building some crunches at the pool. I wanted to get some sun before I... Alright, let me just rerun these because the DS didn't fully save, but I still have my settings in. So 150 lineups. Let me look at some of the top projected. This is with some randomness in there too. So Chase Elliott, Larson, Byron, Keselowski, Bubba Wallace. So you got three big guys there, and then a medium, and then I wouldn't call Bubba a scrub, but he's getting close to that territory as far as the pricing goes. Next one's Elliott, Larson, Byron, Reddick, Bubba, Elliott, Busch, Kyle Larson, Byron Burton. So yeah, it looks like it's kind of Starsy and Scrubsy over there too. This one uses the full 50,000. It's got Elliott, Larson, Bowman, Harvick, Bubba Wallace. So hopefully that helps your question there. What's up, John? A little bit late. That's totally fine. Who is your favorite mid-low end play in GPP? Mid-low end. Trying to think of what a mid-low end price tag is. Is that excluding the 6K range? Or are we talking 7K? If we're talking 7K, I mean, I like Kurt Busch a lot if you count him as a mid-range play. He was actually pretty decent in practice. Blew up last week, so I'm not sure how many people are going to want to go right back to him as he was chalky. But starting P18, he's $8,000. If he's going to be under 20% owned, he looks like he's got a fringe top 10 car. And his teammate Bubba Wallace was pretty fast too. So it seems like they brought some speed this week. And average finish of 10th here at Martinsville. I wouldn't hate Kurt if I want to count him as a mid-low end play. If not, Keselowski's there. Austin Cindric, kind of appealing as those kind of guys. $1 Million Man Sean's here. What's up, boss man? Thoughts on Cindric? So Cindric, you probably asked that one, I already answered it, but I'll do it again just in case. he looked fast in practice, was top 8, top 9 across the board. I believe he was top 8 across the board, right? Yeah. Top 8 and everything. The 30 lap, he was actually beat Bowman P6 compared to P6. It seems like he's going to have a fast car, and I think this kind of track suits him well. And we often see where guys are good at road courses, kind of pretty good at Martinsville, and Hendrick's obviously one of the best road course racers in all of NASCAR. He's interesting. I don't know. I have a hard time getting there. It just hasn't really shown it outside of the Daytona 500 this year, but he's going to be low owned. We're talking probably around 10 to 11% ownership, and not a favorite play of mine, but I did match the field. But I know you like to get different in tournaments, so I think Hendrick might be a decent guy to get a little different with. Yes, we missed Duke in his absence, but he's back, and nice to have him. He'll be busier next week with the Bristol dirt race. I'm sure that there'll be a lot of hype for the dirt race at Bristol. I still got to find the weekend schedule for that. I am curious when they are doing qualifying for it. As long as it's not on Sunday, I'll be happy, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Well, that must be last year's because it's March. Should probably put the year 2022 in there. Get to the next question, though. Robert says, Burton, Byron, Elliott, Bowman, Dillon, Chastain. I love that lineup, and it's... I'll tell you what, it looks pretty familiar. It's a familiar looking lineup. Okay, I got the Bristol dirt race schedule here. So, looks like on Saturday we have Cup Garage opens at 12:30. Okay, so it looks like we got qualifying races. That's a truck race. Yeah, it looks like we got Saturday for the qualifying. I might be stupid reading this wrong, but it looks like we have Saturday qualifying, which is fantastic. Yeah, 6 p.m. to 6:45, we have the Busch Beans first qualifying race for Food City Dirt Race NASCAR Cups. Okay, that is good news for me. If I'm wrong, let me know. Stan says, any interest in Kurt Busch? Yes, I do like Kurt Busch today. You probably asked that before I talked about Kurt, but I do think he's an interesting term of play. His practice speeds look pretty solid, so I can buy in a little bit. Thoughts on Christopher Bell for GPP? I want to like Christopher Bell today, but I'm having a hard time getting there. Looking at my ownerships, I want to say I have less than 5% Bell. I was hoping, I think I led the Christopher Bell hype train last week. I was about double the field, maybe a little bit higher than that as far as my exposures went in Smash Play. It was awesome. It was really nice to see that play out well. Martinsville, just not as high on him. There'll be other tracks where I'm back on Christopher Bell. Dirt race next week is probably a good time for that. Starting P7 though, it's like Chastain starting 27, Reddick starting 22nd, Bowman starting 16th. The ownership's going to be low. We might see single digit ownership on Christopher Bell, but I don't think I want to be overweight on it personally. Dino says, what's up, Chris? My optimizer top 5 projected drivers are Hamlin, Truex, Elliott, and Blaney. I'm playing a 3-max tonight. Is someone unlocked for GPP I'm missing? I can't say those are my same top 5 drivers. Elliott's by far my highest. And then I believe I have... I won't say the actual numbers, but in order for the top 5, it's Elliott, Blaney, Byron, then Truex, Busch, Larson. But let's see. Anyone I'm missing? And for Doms, those are good. I would probably try to mix in some Kyle Busch, though. It doesn't look like you have William Byron there. I'd try to mix in some William Byron, too. Fast in practice and just seems to be good just about everywhere now. And he has had some decent runs in Martinsville. Big Earn says, late to the video, no problem at all. What are some of your favorite prize picks today? Thank you for your videos. You're welcome. Thank you for stopping in. Let me see if they changed. I locked in some earlier. I let Juliana help me on them, so maybe she'll give me some good luck. I think I missed, like, I got 2 out of 3 right last week, but then I just missed on the other one. Let me see. So I did My three favorite right now are Ryan Blaney over 52.5. I think that's a really low number. I like Byron over 56.5 because if he gets up front, he should be able to smash that score. It might be a little bit riskier because if Byron doesn't get up front, he's going to have to get there on fast laps, which is certainly possible, but I am buying in on the speed. And then the other guy I went with was, let me find him. Oh, Kyle Busch over 51.5. I thought the number was a little bit too low. And I will say Chase Elliott does have a super high fantasy score, and he wasn't very high on my leverage score, so I have him right around there as far as the projection goes. But if you think Chase Elliott dominates and wins this race, I would recommend taking the over on that. But it's definitely not my favorite play on the board just because it's so high. And Elliott's laps led prop keeps going up. I want to say it was low 100s last night, then it was 108 this morning, and now it's at 112.5. So it seems like people are really jamming in the over there. But overall, I thought Prize Picks actually had some good numbers this weekend. A lot of them were lining up with my projections. I wouldn't say there was a huge edge, but I did find a couple I liked, and hopefully you can't hear that wind. I have the window open, and it's getting pretty windy and loud. Chris says, cash head-to-head, Elliott, Byron, Chastain, Reddick, Bubba, and Ty Dillon, or Elliott, Larson, Byron, Suarez, Bubba, and Ty Dillon. Okay, so, okay, like, obviously you gotta have Elliott, gotta have Bubba, or, you don't have to have Bubba. You gotta have Ty Dillon. I'm probably gonna go with the first one there. Charles says, I need a good hit. Don't we all? Dude says Will Smith might be available. I get it. Baseball joke. Oh, I do have to, just remind me I have to do the baseball sheet after the stream's over. Briscoe or Bowman? Bowman for me. Price doesn't matter. I'll take the upside on Bowman. I can trust the Hendrick car any day. Jared says, late to the party. Did I miss anything? Not much, Jared. Just answering questions. If you have any, please let me know. Ty Gibbs says, Byron, I see at 50%. I don't think he's going to be 50% owned today, but he will be high owned. That's close to my personal exposures. But as far as the field goes, I think he's going to be upper 20s or low to mid 30s as far as his ownership. I hope he's low. I hope he's lower, but it's just that price point is like, how do you pass up a 9,500 potential Don that was fast in practice on a Hendrick car at a similar track he dominated that last week? It's like, it's so hard to get away from Byron. And he fits in so nicely with Chase because he doesn't break the bank either. Robert says, who's your complete fades today starting outside the top 10? Oh, let's see. Outside the top 10, I don't have any McDowell. I don't have any... Well, I do have some of him. I'm pretty low on Truex just overall, just because I don't think he's going to up front. Pretty low on Denny. Pretty low on... I'm not sure I want to say I'm low on Stenhouse, but I'm going to try to be underweight there. Jackson says, best driver under $7,000. Bubba Wallace, $6,400. I like him quite a bit. I think there's a lot of speed in his car. Dino Suarez is pretty close to being up there as well. Ty Gibbs, future GOAT. Speaking of Ty Gibbs, that fight last night was something else. Discord was going crazy. Saw the ending of it. It was a wild Xfinity race last night. But anyway, where was I? Oh, I think a good pivot play is Larson. Yeah, Larson's going to be high owned though. It's like, yeah, he's a pivot, but he's also going to be pretty high owned. He was also fast in practice, and everyone plays Kyle Larson every single week just because he's Kyle Larson, even though he hasn't been quite the Kyle Larson he has been last year. What's up, Ryan? Glad you're here. Philly Man says, one more question, if I may. What would be, in your opinion, the best overall value play on this slate, considering everything, price, PD, everything? I'll defer. I mean, it might sound weird, but projection, just value my projections is Chase Elliott is the best value today. And then William Byron's right there. Like, yeah, I know they're expensive, but he is right now my best value play on the slate. As weird as that sounds. And that just goes to show you how important the Dominator points are. I mean, a guy can be over $11,000 and still be the best value play on the slate. Cody says, hey Chris, I've never posted before, but since I've become a Patreon member, I've been winning, not donating at almost every race, so thank you, you're the man. Data without the B. Appreciate that, Cody. That's all it's about. That's what it's all about. What it's all about. I like to get some theories in there, but I mean, I like to follow the numbers for the most part, so I do appreciate that, Cody. Hopefully you can keep up the hot streak, I guess. CC Awesome finally woke up from his nap. Would you play Dylan or Dylan? I would prefer Dylan in that scenario. Charles says Elliott, Byron, Larson, Burton, Stenhouse, Suarez sound good. It's a fun lineup. I don't have many bad things to say about it. Is it cash or tournaments? I guess that would change things, but because if it's cash, I got to find Ty Dillon somewhere in there. But overall, it's a solid lineup. Daniel says, "Hey, Chase." Threw me off for a second. I think you're talking to me. Should I have one or two unique drivers? It depends how you want to play it. I know a lot of people recommend getting more unique so you're not overlapping your lineups too much. I personally don't mind the overlap in some scenarios, so I keep it at one. And I've been able to take down multiple contests just having one unique. So it's worked for me. It depends on how you kind of construct your lineups, but if you want to be more different from the field, I would up the unique drivers, but if you don't mind maybe just kind of being somewhat similar, you can keep it at one, but it's kind of personal preference there. I know in baseball, I try to up it to 2 to 3 because I don't mind getting really weird in baseball. What's up, Mike? No problem at all. I mean, I figured it wouldn't be a full house early on. I'm sure it's still not. Everyone's busy today, Saturday afternoon. A lot of stuff going on, Masters. I hear it's a really good UFC card tonight. I'm almost tempted to watch it, but we got NASCAR going on, so I always got to watch the NASCAR race. But it should be on after the race is over, so I might hop in there. But second time using your optimizer, hoping I do better than last week. Did you not do well last week? It was a very good week overall for me, so hopefully I have some better luck. Jake says, Ty Dillon and Harrison Burton are the lowest price I'm willing to go to. Nobody lower than that. I'm pretty sure I'm the same way. Yeah, Ty Dillon, 55. Yeah, everybody else was pretty junk. I mean, I have a little bit of exposure to Corey LaJoie, but projection-wise, he's not even close to Ty Dillon or Burton. Jason says, any prize picks you like? Yeah, I like the Blaney over. I like the Kyle Busch over, and I like the Byron over. That might be a little bit riskier, but I think there's a decent chance Byron gets some Dominator points today. Suarez at $6,000. Yeah, he's a good cheap PD play. I mean, Team Trackhouse has been very good this year. Suarez should contend for a top 20. Hard not to like him starting in P30. He's not going to be as bad as his qualifying time was. Scary Flying says Larson and Wallace or Chastain and Kurt Busch. Give me Larson and Wallace. More Dominator upside there with Larson than Bubba Wallace was pretty fast too. Just got a notification that Ty became a Patreon member, so I do appreciate that. Okay, sorry. Charles says on DraftKings you can pick 1 through 6 starting positions. You can. That's not going to end well, though. I'll tell you that. That will not end well for you. Rick Rold says Kurt Busch or Austin Dillon. I like the upside more with Kurt Busch there. Seems to have a fast car this weekend. John says there's nothing worse than a chalky dinger, especially a chalky dinger that's going to start the race multiple laps down at a short track. So I don't have high hopes. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm going to stick to my guns and just be pretty underweight on Dinger. Jones or Suarez on DraftKings? Jones is starting P24, I believe, right? Yeah, let me see what my projections saying. They got to be close. Yeah, Eric Jones around 32. I got like 4 drivers at 32 points. And then Suarez at 36. I'll side with Suarez there. Definitely reflects on my personal exposures right now too. Appreciate it, dude. If you're looking for these stages, we have 80 in stage 1, 100 in stage 2, and then we have the marathon at the end, 220 laps. Whoever comes out first for stage 3 is going to be. Just hope your highest on Dominator comes out first for stage 3, because if it's a follow the leader kind of day, they're going to rack up a lot of Dominator points. But, you know, by the end of the race, we usually get our cautions as these guys get really racy. And the fuel window, 170 to 180 laps. Rexy says AJ Allmendinger. Hopefully I answered that. Ty Gibbs Goat says, if Elliott doesn't dominate, who does? I would say William Byron. I mean, there's gonna be other dominators besides Chase Elliott anyway, assuming he does dominate. But I think Byron's probably your second most likely guy there. And the thing I love about Chase today, like, it's not like you have a bunch of great cars around them. You have Almirola starting P2, Custer starting P3, Buescher starting P4. So, I mean, he should set sail theoretically. Obviously, it's NASCAR, anything can happen. And Eric Almirola's going to troll us in like 200 laps, I'm sure. But, I mean, this is just a perfect setup for Chase Elliott. And it also looks like a pretty easy path to P2 for William Byron, assuming he can take care of business. Andrew says, Elliott, Kyle Busch, Byron, Keselowski, Wallace, or Elliott. Wallace or Elliott, Byron, Bowman, Chastain, Suarez on a FanDuel GPP. Okay. I would side with the first one there. Yeah, I'll side with the first one. Justin Sport says, any chalky plays that are still good plays this week? Oh, for sure. Chase Elliott is a fantastic play. Ty Dillon, Harrison Burton down low. All good chalk, in my opinion. FE says, the three Amigo Wrenchmen, Spready, Doot, and Andy. It's quite the trio, isn't it? Quite the trio. Let's see. Blaney, Larson, Bauer, my three Doms. Can't argue that. I mean, something's going to have to happen to Elliott, but I assume you think Byron's going to be the guy that leads early on in that case, and I won't disagree with you. Well, I mean, I think Elliott would do it, but I won't talk you off of it. Gideon says, headed to the race now. We'll start a lineup with 8, 9, and 4. Oh, you're going to the race? I hope you enjoy it. That's awesome. That's if you're there and you can take some pictures, send me them on Twitter. Love to see it. Dustin says everyone is sleeping on Cole Custer for a good reason. He's starting P3s. I don't think he's going to hold that. Don't think he's going to hold that at all. And even if, I mean, I'm assuming most people would assume he doesn't hold that. But even then, if Custer gets a P14, I would say that's probably a good day for him. P14 for Custer is going to net him, and I just realized my heat map is all messed up. I have Martin Truex Jr. in the one spot. Hold on. Not sure what happened there. Okay, anyway. Got P14 for Custer. We're talking 18 points. For Ty Dillon to get 18 points, we need a P29, which I think he's going to get I think he's going to at least get a P29. Like, I mean, yeah, there's a chance Custer holds the top 10, but even then, top 10 is getting you 27 points. Lost my spot. Heading back over here. So does Custer have good long run speed? So over in practice, P15 in the 10, P14 in the 15, and P12 in the 20. Like, yeah, he's got a decent car for his price point, but for where he's starting, like if he finishes P12, that's not getting the job done. We're talking like around 15 points. It's like the upside is very capped for Cole Custer. Gabe says, I think Custer is good, but his qualifying time was a product of track conditions. Yeah, we were talking about that in Discord when we were watching qualifying, where those guys, man, they just got great qualifying times, and some of these guys just got absolutely screwed by the track. What's up, King? Nice to have you here. Philly Man says, does not sound crazy, that's why I asked. Like that, thank you. I was really confirming yours was the same as mine as far as Chase goes. Truex would be my second. Awesome, family. Glad to help in any way. Griner says, Team RFK Sleepers. Yeah, I mean, if you watch the Osmo Top 5 video that I do it pre-practice and qualifying, so obviously things changed quite a bit. And I actually had both of these guys in that video. Both qualified really well, though. Keselowski in the top 10, and Chris Buescher was P4, so I'm a lot lower on them than I thought it was going to be. They showed speed last week. I still think Kess is a solid play, but as far as Chris Buescher goes, I'm not playing him at 7K. See my mom's here. Good to see Mr. Handsome. Have fun with the pups. And I'm sure you're rooting for Logano, which Logano's good at Martinsville, but I'm hoping he's not super good today. Don't have a ton. Family Man says Truex has to lead laps to make value, and that's the thing. Like, yeah, it's possible. It's Truex at a night race and it's Martinsville, but I mean, there's other guys that show they have a lot more speed so far, and it's like a hard time seeing him get out front over guys like Blaney, Elliott, Byron, in my opinion. Like, yeah, if he finishes P6, it's a decent day. If he picks up some fast laps, could very well, like, I mean, I can just tell you guys my raw projection on Truex, just to give you guys an idea. So, getting into the thick of it here, I gave Truex a 8.1 projected finish, which it's not as bad as it sounds. Like, I have Chase Elliott for a 5.01 projected finish, which is the best of all drivers, so technically I'm projecting him to win, but I'm never going to project a guy to finish like 1.3. That's just not going to happen in projections. So Truex with an 8th place finish and 17.9 Dominator points equates to 66 DraftKings points, which is good, but I also have guys like Byron, Blaney, Elliott higher than that with their Dominator upside. Like Byron I got for 33 Dominator points, Blaney for 25, Chase Elliott for 46. So definitely a little bit higher than the guys that have Dominator upside, which Truex still good, but it's just less likely. Mason says, sorry if you already went over this, but what are your thoughts on Bubba? No problem at all. Feel free to ask any question you can or want. Bubba's fast in practice. He's one of my favorite plays down low. Like, he's going to be less owned than Burton and Ty Dillon. I think he's an excellent pivot there. He's not exactly in the same price range, but as far as the 6K guys go, he is my highest owned driver up there with Daniel Suarez. Better Luck DFS says, as the fields get sharper, do you think eating the cash chalk and then getting different with one spot for cash would be helpful? If so, would you get different in the value range? So in cash, I never get different. Like, sometimes I'll get on a low-owned guy, but it's not totally on purpose. Like last week, I had like the chalkiest lineup ever. Everyone had the same lineup, but it just, like, enough people are going to make bad lineups and make mistakes to where I still think you should just play the cash nuts every single week. So I personally wouldn't get different just because the entire lobby is not going to be as smart as you think it is. So I think it'll be fine in that aspect. But yeah, if you're playing a tournament, yeah, try to get different somewhere. But as far as cash goes, I wouldn't do it. Bowdy says, Bubba always wrecks no matter how good value he is. Feels like it, doesn't it? Trust me, I don't love playing Bubba, but looks like I'm gonna have to this weekend. Daniel Pope says, I'm getting Elliott and Almirola in a line. Thoughts? I'm not really on Almirola today. I mean, he's got a decent enough car, but we're talking fringe top 10 practice speeds. Was P6 in the 25, P4 in the 30. But the problem is he's starting P2, and he's going to have to somewhat hold his position and pick up fast laps, which is possible. He's a good short flat track racer. And I think the last time he started P2 in Martinsville was when Blaney started P1. I think this was during the COVID era, and I think it was like a Wednesday night race, and Almirola actually led the laps early on. It was one of the craziest Martinsville races I can remember because all the JGR guys went a lap down. Blaney lost the lap. It was crazy. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was a pretty wild race. But yeah, I'm not really on Almirola. I mean, if you're playing Almirola, you're kind of hoping he steals the lead from Chase early on, and it's a slim chance. Slim chance. Spread says, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Yeah, if you're brand new here, subscribe. I'm here every weekend breaking down the NASCAR DFS slate. Probably do MLB videos only on the weekdays. Just don't want to get burned out doing those every single day, especially on top of NASCAR. Yeah, subscribe, leave a like if you haven't yet already when you're here. It does help out the stream. Richard says, hey Chris, I really enjoy the content. Thank you, Richard. Thanks for putting in the work each week. No problem at all. It's fun for me to do, and I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Oh gosh, where am I at? Okay. Chandler says, Elliott, Harvick, Cindric, Bell, Wallace, and Buescher. That's a wildly contrarian tournament lineup, but if you were looking for just that, well, there you go. But it does have a lot of risk. I mean, Buescher starting P4 is pretty tough. You have a lot of guys starting close to the front, really, besides Bubba Wallace there, because Cindric's P13, Harvick's P6, Elliott's P1, Bell is P7, I want to say. Yeah, P7, Wallace P2. Yeah, so I mean, it can work, but it's risky. See, Austin says the wrench guys are the Three Stooges. They really are. If you're part of the Discord, you would know. Jason says, what's up, Chris? Jason, just got here, man. Who is your pick to win? Sorry to ask. I know you probably answered. Who do I drop the bag on? Let me look at the odds first because I want to give you the complete chalk. I mean, for me, I think it's Chase Elliott that wins. He's due for a win. It's been a while. But yeah, I mean, he's plus 500. I mean, it's not terrible. Really, my two picks would be either Elliott or probably William Byron, to be honest. But if, I mean, gun to the head, I had to pick one guy. It's Chase Elliott today. I know it's a chalky answer, but it is what it is. Dave says, what's up, CP? What's up, Dave? Any Stenhouse love? DraftKings GPP? Not really. Like, he just sucks this year. Yeah, he starts P30 every race, but he also finishes P30 every race. Looking at his two short flat track finishes this year, 28th and 28th. He's starting 28th, and he was 29th in practice, so you're probably just going to get him rolling around 20th all day. So it's like, oh well. He also says Andy, Mo Spread, Larry Doot. Jared says, we've had back-to-back weeks of great racing. Hopefully tonight's short track race will follow suit. Yeah, the racing's been so good this year at the next-gen cars. And that was kind of rocky at the beginning for DFS purposes, but I think we've adapted well so far and been enjoying it for DFS now. And just from a fan standpoint, it's awesome. And I'm very excited for next week. It might be a little tough on the projection models, but because it's going to be hard to kind of project a dirt race, but we can get the job done. Do we have... I deleted the page. I was trying to see practice, but oh well. No paper. We are good as of right now. And they impounded yesterday, I believe, so. I mean, there's always a chance someone goes to the rear, but. Cal says, thoughts on Byron, Elliott, Jones, Reddick, Suarez, Wallace, DraftKings GPP. That works fine for me. You have the two Doms, Byron and Elliott. And yeah, it's totally fine. How do I feel about Suarez? He is starting about 10 spots further back than where his projected finish is. I mean, he should easily be a top, I mean, not easily, but he's definitely a top 20, top 18 contender today. And he's below 7K. Team Trackhouse has been good this year. Nothing against him. I have around 30% ownership personally for him. Jay Smoke says, yo, bro, good luck today. Good luck to you as well. Rolling out Elliott, Busch, Larson, Buescher, and Kez. Some love for the RFK guys in here. I mean, it's risky with Buescher where he's starting, but if he can hold like a P8 and pick up fast laps, it's not terrible. I think he's a better play over on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings, just because you're not going to lose as many points if he glides back to like a P8, P9. So that's kind of my thought process there. Gideon says, yes, sir. First time going to Martinsville. And it will be cold. What's the temperature over in Martinsville tonight? Yeah, this is going to be cold, isn't it? Around 8 p.m., we're looking at 48 degrees, 43 degrees, around 10. Yeah, you're going to be cold. I get cold when it's 70, so yeah, it's going to be rough. Yeah, send those pictures my way. I'd love to see them. Robert says, what would your strategy be if Chase Elliott somehow went to the rear for any reason? If he went to the rear for any reason, I'd be, oh gosh. That would be weird because you'd have, the front row would be something else there. Ew. I'd just up my Byron exposure. I'd be really high on Byron, be higher on, I mean, you could just bump pretty much everyone inside that top 12 of the Dominators that I like. You could just bump them up quite a bit. But let's just hope that doesn't happen. That's an awful thing to say. Dustin says, Bowman, Byron, Elliott, Kess, Bubba, and Ty for a tournament. That will do. That will do. I got no problem with that. Monty says, hey, Chris. What's up, Monty? I am sure you covered this, and I know it's high. But what is your projected ownership for Elliott? Thanks for all the hard work and for all the hard help and hard work. No problem at all. Don't usually say ownership projections, but I will say he is looking like he's going to be in the upper 40s today. He might get close to 50. I'm not sure he's going to be quite 50 because Truex will drag some ownership down, but I As of right now, I'm projecting Chase Elliott in the big contest, not cash games or anything, just a big contest to be in the upper 40s as far as his ownership goes. Triple G says, darn, I see I'm 45 minutes late. We grouping today. You mean as far as like in the optimizers? Yeah, we can group today. Just put all the potential DOMs you like in a group, set it to at least 2, and then you're on your merry way. And I personally X'd out the scrubs at the bottom. And the scrubs being Balicki, Yaley, McLeod, and Ware. Anyone sent to the back? Nope. Derek says, who's your favorite 7K and under GPP play? That'd be Bubba Wallace for me. Love Bubba today. I'm sure that will not go well. Chef says, GPP, Suarez, Bubba, Byron, Blaney, Kyle, and I'm going to assume that's Kyle Busch, and Ty Dillon, I assume. Whichever way it is. If it's Larson, I like it. If it's Austin, I still think it's fine. So either way, you're good. Bodie in the Oaf says, nice job on the Osmo Baseball Show. I love EMAC. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, I kind of kept it quiet. I was on the Osmo Baseball Show this morning. A little nervous, never done the baseball show with them, but I think it went well. Did it with Terry. And yeah, he says he loves EMAC. Yeah, EMAC's a cool guy. Maybe I could do a show with him in the future. But I know everyone loves EMAC. Had a good time doing that. Any weather concerns for the race? Never mind. You just answered it. Yeah, last time I looked, like a 0% chance for rain. So, oh, I guess according to Google, a 24% chance of rain at 5. 15% chance at 10. We're fine. We're fine. But it's NASCAR, so you never know. Random pop-up. But we have lights tonight, so we'll be fine. Yep, Allmendinger with the pass-through, not seeing anybody to the rear. That's what I've seen so far. I can check Bob once again. I think he's doing a tweet up though. Let me see. Nope, last thing I saw was his picks for today. If you want to know Bob's picks, his pick to win is Byron. And P2 would be Elliott, P3 Hamlin, P4 Bowman, and P5 Harvick, with his long shot being Allmendinger. Bob is drinking the Allmendinger Kool-Aid. Am I the only one that doesn't like Allmendinger today? Either I'll be horribly wrong or horribly right, or amazingly right. I guess we'll find out. I'm fine with it either way, whatever the outcome is. Evan says, Larson, Elliott, Byron, Wallace, Dillon, and Suarez. It looks good to me. For future reference, though, if you're mentioning a Dillon, please let me know if it's Ty or Austin. I'm assuming a lot of the Dillon comments today are probably Ty, though, as popular as he's going to be. Jay Smoke says, Kess or Reddick for GPPs, bro? I'm real hesitant on Busher. I mean, Kess is going to be much lower owned, but I feel a lot better with Reddick, personally. Elliott, Byron, Busch, Cindric, Bubba, and Burton. Yeah, that's a good lineup for sure. I like that quite a bit. Rexy and Spark says, with Allmendinger doing the pass-through, does that make him a total fade? I don't like him today. I know other people do. He's straight dead last. He's $6,600, and obviously he's fine at Martinsville. The thing is, it's just like he's going to go a couple laps down early on. If he's not getting quickie yellows at the beginning of the race, he's going to be in trouble because there's going to be a lot of guys that go laps down here at Martinsville. Do I think he's going to finish dead last? No, probably not. And he can certainly contend for a top 30, maybe even a top 25, but even then, that's not enough to be a slam dunk optimal play. Luke says, hey Chris, what do you have AJ's ownership at? If everyone is off of him, I'll take a chance on him even with a pass-through. 400 lap race, plenty of time. Yeah, so I'm kind of different on a lot of people in the industry. I don't want to give out other ownership projections because people pay for those. I look like I'm the lowest right now as far as projected ownership goes. I'm talking sub 20%. I've seen other places have in the 30s, in upper 20s. So we'll see what happens. It seems like we're kind of all over the place. I seem to be the lowest. We'll see what happens though. But I mean, if you're looking at other sites and not just listening to me, you would assume he would be chalky according to them. So take that for what you will. Ryan says, Kyle Busch, Chase, Blaney, Ty Dillon, Suarez, or Burton. Or I don't know why I said or Burton. That's just the lineup. I guess because there was a question mark. Yeah, I liked all those guys. Totally fine. Love Bush, love Chase, love Blaney. Dylan Burton, the 2 chalk freebies down low, and Swerve's a good play. So yeah, like it a lot. Chris says, who gets in a fight tonight? I hope someone gets into a fight tonight. You know how it is short track racing? Who has some beefs right now? Trying to think of who's wrecked each other recently. There was someone. Chastain and Blaney. I can't see Blaney fighting anybody, though. I'm sure there's some other beefs I'm forgetting off the top of my head. If Kyle Busch gets angry enough or something happens with his car, I'm sure maybe we can get something sparked. And he says, 24% chance you say? Luck. Yeah, there you go. Another narrative from Mr. Billy B there. Rexy says, with their helmet on? Yeah. If you're going to fight somebody, you got to at least take the helmet off. Who did that? Wasn't that Ryan Newman and Clint Boyer, where Boyer just ran up to Newman with the... I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's like a loud plane. I apologize. Was that Clint Boyer and Ryan Newman, right? Hold on. I gotta make sure. Yeah, Clint Boyer got out of the car, threw some punches at Ryan Newman. I was in the car with his helmet on. I mean, if you're gonna fight, you gotta at least take the helmet off. Gotta be fair. You're welcome, Monty. I live 30 minutes from Martinsville. It's been sprinkling on and off with flurries. Ugh. Thank you for the heads up on the weather, though. Appreciate it. Bodie and the old Byron and Blaney finally go ahead. Byron and Blaney. They seem like it's like the 2 nice guys out there. That'd be fun, though. Yeah, that's correct, Jay Duncan. Dinger's going to be in a bit of a hole to start this race. Yeah, he'll be about 2 laps. Braxton says AC 130 inbound. That was loud. I mean, I live by an airport, but geez, it's pretty loud. Someone must have got a kill streak. Yeah, Bob with the long shot. Yeah, it's a real long shot there. Dude says, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and consider his Patreon, which includes the spreadsheet, Discord chat, and optional optimizer. And also the same for MLB content as well. Appreciate the commercial for me, Do appreciate that. If you guys ever want to join the extra content over there, link can be found down below, or you can find it somewhere. Robert says, Kurt Busch, Bubba Reddick, Chastain, Hamlin, and Swartz. Yeah, it's a good lineup. It's a good lineup. I'm personally not huge on Hamlin, but I'm not going to talk anybody off of Hamlin. I mean, starting P25 at a track he's good at. What's up, Landon? I don't think I've heard from you in a while, so nice to hear from you. Yeah, not much Denny talk in here for starting 25th. I just think, I know he won last. Kind of got lucky, though. Backed into it. He kind of did what he said Alex Bowman does and backs into a win a bit. Or no, that was Kyle Busch. Get my drivers mixed up there, but JGR just doesn't like Bowman too much. But yeah, I mean, he's really good here. Practice wasn't anything super impressive for Denny Hamlin. P24 in the 10 lap, P19 in the 15 lap. Yeah, he won last week, but I don't know. I think he's going to be riding around like a fringe top 10 day, which it's fine at 10.3. It's not as expensive as Martin Truex Jr., but it's also not what I'm looking for either. Like, I think Kyle Busch is a much better play than Denny Hamlin today. I think Kyle Larson's a better play. I want the potential Doms in my lineup. Do they hate each other, Baldy? I have no idea. I didn't know there was a Ryan Blaney, William Byron beef. Maybe I'm just stupid. Let me see. Oh. So I looked up Ryan Blaney learned William Byron was dating his sister? Is that what you're talking about? I have no idea. It's the first article that came up on NBC. I'm going to read this article for later. Anyway. Wes says, I hope Dinger stays on hold and gets like 5 laps. Hey, me and you the same. I hope Dinger just finishes P36 today. Looks like Scheffler is running away with the Masters. I don't know anything about Masters. I've been to Top Golf a couple times, but that's about all I know about golf. That place is awesome. I can see it from my window, and it's such a fun place. Eric says, oats for life. I agree. Oats for life. Ready for the race tonight? Love short tracks. Me too, Landon. Absolute bomb. Wes says, I'm a golf fanatic, but the Masters got boring real fast. I picked Elliott for the win. P1 in practice, P1 in qualifying, very fast. Did you see that fight last night? Ty Gibbs. Yeah, it was it was pretty fun to watch. I know that race was crazy at the end, and then Gibbs throwing punches. To leave the helmet on, so points down for that, but it was nice to see some aggression between some drivers. It does make things pretty interesting. But I think I caught up to the chat for the first time ever. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll get out of here. It was more active than I thought for a Saturday afternoon, so I appreciate everyone taking the time out of your day to stop by, listen to me talk about nonsense for an hour. Always a good time for me to do so. Looking forward to the dirt race next week. Should be a really fun time, and that would be fun to talk about. All right, I'll answer one more question. Byron or Bowman for cash since Bowman won the trucks race? Wasn't it Byron that won the trucks race? I don't really care too much about trucks, but pretty sure it was Byron. Yeah, Byron won at Martinsville. Yeah, it was Byron. But either way, it didn't matter. But it was William Byron for me in cash games. But with that being said, I think that will be it. I'll get out of here. Make sure you leave a like on your way out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, hit me up on Twitter. Leave a comment down below. But yeah, I'll get out of here. See you all next time.